Rainbow Restoration is a restoration franchise that they do like water, fire, mold mitigation, stuff like that. They've been around for a long time. So they are owned by Neighborly. They were acquired by Neighborly in 2021. And Neighborly is, of course, a large umbrella company in home services that has 20 something different home improvement franchises underneath its umbrella. So Rainbow Restoration is their restoration business, 313 franchise units across the country.
Wow.
Investment range for this is between 170,000 and 325. The reason it's a little bit higher is because like you do need a warehouse, a small warehouse where you're going to like store equipment and vehicles and stuff. And then you start with one or two vehicles, a lot of equipment, a lot of the fans that you use for the restoration work. So it is a little bit more capital intensive than something like a CertaPro, but restoration businesses are a huge need. Obviously, if somebody has a fire or water damage in their home, you have to have it taken care of. So and that's what Rainbow Restoration does. A few things that separate them actually is, and this is something Krista learned about last week, is as a franchisee, you can do 100% of your business if you want through what they call their key accounts program. So they're so big throughout the country, they have national partnerships with all the different insurance carriers where those carriers will refer business and clients to Rainbow Restoration franchisees. And I think there's like a 5% fee or something, to do those jobs. But basically it makes all your business referral based from these insurance carriers, which is really interesting. You can do that and combination of like your own marketing and your own referral network as well. But it's kind of a way to really like jumpstart your restoration business through those national key accounts. And then Neighborly has negotiated for Rainbow Restoration an SBA Express loan program that I think it's like very specific only to them, where you can do an SBA Express loan for $350,000. Usually it's only $150,000 for SBA Express, but they have some sort of, special partnership with the SBA program where they can get an express loan for up to $350,000. So that's pretty cool. So those are two big differentiators. Another one is they do have what they call a flood house that is at their corporate headquarters, where it's literally a training facility where they'll flood a home and they'll put their new owners through training on how to like actually go through like the process. So that's kind of wild. That's
crazy.
Yeah, that cannot be cheap at all. But so that's pretty cool. So it's a big organization. It's pretty like well established, like we noted here. But if we want to scroll up to the numbers, because everybody always kind of wants to know about the numbers. I kind of went out of order. Sorry, Tariq. Let's see here. So this is, can you scroll up a little bit more so I can see the header?
Oh, yep.
There we go. So these are franchise businesses in operation 12 months or more. So 1 year plus in the business. So top 10% is on average doing 4.15 million. Top 25%, 2.66 million, still really strong. Top 50%, 1.78. And then you can see the bottom half drop off quite a bit. So you want to be above average is the moral of the story. But 100% of all units, they're around $1 million average gross sales. So I'll pause there. I feel like I'm talking a lot. Tariq, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, no, I mean, you're talking all good stuff. Yeah, I mean, the someone might go, what's the catch? Like, this sounds really attractive. They got a lot of good stuff. The catch is that they have 313 franchise units. Mm-hmm. And so like, this is one of those brands where it's like your territory may not be available. Mm-hmm. Because there's over 300 units already and they're pretty established. But, I would say if this is one that you are interested in, definitely I'm changing up the banner there to the check territory one. Definitely reach out to us so we can check and see if it's available. But I mean, when you look at these numbers, I mean, just 12 months or more in business, like a business really takes, I always say it takes about 3 years to reach maturity, like the business reaching adulthood. So even just the benchmark of 12 months or more is not a lot. That's not a big benchmark, but and where if you guys wonder where we got the 11 million from, you can see that the top performing franchisee does just over $11 million in sales, which is just wild to think about overall. But I mean, this shows some really gangbuster numbers. I mean, it just shows if there's that many people that are being successful in the business, that you definitely can. I would imagine that when it shows 133 out of the 267 are in the bottom 50%, I would guess and imagine that a good amount of those are ones that are not as mature in the business. Like they're probably maybe between that 1 to 3 year mark of getting open. And they could be kind of like legacy franchisees too, who they're just, here's the weird thing about franchising that the numbers don't show you. And this is certainly not the case in all of them. And this is what you need to validate. That's one of the things we help our clients do, is like the validation of the franchise. But when you're talking to other franchisees, like what you would want to understand is like, what is the difference between like these people, and are these people that are just like, oh, I'm just good with running a smaller business, and like I don't want to have a lot of people, I just want to have 1 or 2 techs, and I'm like doing fine, and or they're actually doing the work, or they're actually doing the sales. And then you have people that actually want to build an empire and build a business. Like I can guarantee you the person doing 11 million versus the one who's doing, 112,000, they think completely differently. Like it's not just a matter of like, okay, this one has a better territory. That could be the case too. But I guarantee you they think about their business and their strategy different than the other person.
Yeah.
And so if there's, one thing that you guys leave with today is like, just know that a lot of your business success, yeah, getting the right franchise matters. But you got race car drivers that they all have fast cars. And there's people that dominate. And there's people that win, right? What is that guy's name? Lewis Johnson or something like that? And like F1 that just like crushes everyone.
I mean, I have know nothing about race car driving, so you might have. I couldn't even tell you one race car driver, but yeah, keep going.
The only reason why I know his name is because I've had a handful of people over the last few years that are like, you look like that F1 driver. And so I think that was before I grew the beard. So I had to look him up. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Anyways, the point is the operator matters. Yes, the franchise matters, but all things being equal, the operator matters.
Yeah.
So
people always use territory as an excuse. Their market is unique for XYZ, or there's only some. When I used to work for a home improvement franchise, we would have owners that were in very small markets in like northern Michigan that could only operate 6 months out of the year, and they were doing better than some of these people in like the southern markets that have way more population and could operate year round. And when I showed like it's a very competitive like system, when I showed those numbers and I said, well, there's no excuses here, like people would get all bent out of shape, but it's true. It's like, I mean, it's just about your operator mindset and how are you just going to get it done, And so I do think people really, really, really overanalyze the market. It's important to do that and do market research, but every time somebody says, well, my market's so unique, and because it's not so unique. Like there's tons of other markets like that around the country. And, if you want to speak with people in similar markets during validation, then you should do that. You should ask the franchisor, like, I want to speak with somebody in similar sized market. I want to speak with 2 people that are 1 year in, 2 people that are 5 years in, like you need to speak with a number of different types of people. So yeah, that's my end of rant.
Yeah. Boom. All right. And then let's see, what was this? So this does it based off of territory size, which is interesting. Walk us through this.
Okay. So this would be territory size. So yeah, obviously the more population, that doesn't surprise me. The high performer at 11 million was in the higher territory size, but it looks like most people own one smaller territory. So 100 people on that. And the average for that one territory is 728,000. And then if you own 2 territories, it looks like it jumps. Well, it's actually the same. It's a little bit lower, but then I don't know if that's 3 territories or what, how you would describe that final line item there, but it seems like this is an opportunity where you would want multiple territories based on what I'm saying here, because that's when it really makes a big leap in terms of average gross sales. That's how I
And,
interpret it.
and is this one of those ones? Because I know that is Shelf Genie a neighborly company?
Yeah.
So maybe this is one of those deals where, because they're not actually saying how many territories they own, but doesn't Neighborly have a thing where you can just buy like additional you can like just pay for additional population or like zip codes or something like that, where you're not like actually buying a new territory, but you can add on like per population or something like that?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean it's like they charge like 15 cents per person additional or something weird like that. So yeah, you can always, and that's something we help with, is if you for the most part like your territory, but you want like 2 more zip codes, like franchisors like Neighborly will allow you to acquire those 2 zip codes and add it into your single territory and just pay a little bit more. So that is true. It's not necessarily defining, you know, multiple territories here. So you'd have to look at how they define a territory in their FDD. But yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. All right. So for those of you who want to check and see, number one, is this specific franchise still available in your territory? You can go to franchiseempire.com/check territory. Or if you just want to know, like, hey, I'm curious, what franchises, period, are available in my area that align with my financial goals, that align with my lifestyle goals, that I could see myself in, then you can schedule a call with the team to be able to see, what's available and what's out there in your market overall.